Joel Ssenyonyi Lop ono yajja kubalumya mitwe ekiri mu parliament eyo nanti akabikudde ensimbi zembadde mulaba ezisaasaanyizibwa ezibbibwa empitirivu omuli n'ezaweebwa Mathias Mpuuga Nsamba Joel Ssenyonyi olwaleero akyankalanyiza parliament yonna agifuukudde bw'ati n'agizza waggulu ekiri eyo olutalo lw'amaanyi nsaba nkutwaleyo ogenda kumanya lwaki Kyagulanyi yalina omukisa munene nnyo era yasalawo okusalawo kwa njawulo okulonda Joel Ssenyonyi nga Lop waffe wabula Kyagulanyi omusajja oyo obwongo bwe bwesera.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to firstly apologize. We have taken much longer than we have communicated to meet. We still needed to get ourselves set in one way or another. But thank you for being patient with us and making the time to be here so we can have this communication. For the past couple of days, the nation has been witnessing Ugandans speaking out against corruption, against abuse of office, against other gross violations of the law, with specificity to the Parliament of Uganda, this institution. At some point, there were people who dismissed these protests, and our view had always been, don't dismiss them, listen and respond, because it's important that we be accountable. And these allegations have been heavy sounding in many respects, touching various offices, but especially touching the highest office of this institution. That's the office of the Speaker of Parliament. Various questions have been raised. Firstly, I want to appreciate Ugandans for speaking out. It's important that as leaders we be accountable. And it's important that as the citizens, they speak out and hold us accountable as leaders. As leaders, we are not above reproach. The people that are asking questions put us in these positions, and they expect us to be accountable to them. So various allegations have been leveled against this institution, but with specificity the Speaker of Parliament, and we have been concerned as the opposition about these numerous allegations. So we sat this morning to agree on our approach. We have been watching, by the way, and we were deliberate about first being silent so that we see all that unfolds, so that we are able to capture everything that the people of Uganda are saying, and then we get to speak out after we have captured all of these things. So the allegations range from things like travel per diem. We have been seeing figures flying around on social media and elsewhere, where the Speaker flies to different countries, and the per diem is not quite explainable, as we have seen these allegations out there. We know that the Speaker's per diem is $9,900 per day. The figures we are seeing were about 990. The figures we are seeing out there show that the per diem was more than $4,000 per day. It does not quite make sense. Did the rules change? If so, who did change them? The people of Uganda want to know. But also, the days purported to be out are several days, showing about 5 months in a row or thereabout. Again, there's need for an explanation, because the Speaker has not quite been away for that long. But also, the days indicated are questionable, whether or not actually these trips were made, even when the monies were paid. Ugandans want to know. There have also been allegations about community outreach, mobilization and donations by the Office of the Speaker. Billions of shillings have been put on different accounts of staff members. purportedly for activities by the Speaker out there in the field. Again, the country wants to know, how does this get to happen? After the Kazinda saga in the OPM, government issued a new modus operandi to say that accounts of staff members of different government entities cannot receive more than 5 million shillings. But we are seeing plenty of money being put on the accounts of staff members. Some work in the office of the Speaker, others different offices, as you have been seeing. It's important that there gets to be an explanation about this money. It's a lot of money. What exactly did it do? How come it's being transmitted through accounts of staff members? There's been a concern about recruitment of staff to Parliament of Uganda. The Auditor General, by the way, reported on this matter in his report, showing staff that cannot be identified. And then we kept hearing people were being recruited irregularly. Some, we are told, are relatives, friends, in-laws, outlaws, whatever the case might be. There's need for an explanation. Who gets to be hired? And how? What process do they go through? As the office of the Leader of the Opposition, we have lost staff whose contracts ran out at the end of January. I did engage the leadership to say, these people have been working here 2.5 years, doing good work. Let's renew their contracts. Normally, the procedure has always been the new leader nominates a new team. But I said, I have no problem with those who have been there. Let's renew their contracts. Speaker of Parliament, together with the clerk, told me that there's no money, that the wage bill ceiling had been hit, so contracts cannot be renewed. But as that's happening to the office of the Leader of the Opposition, then here there's other recruitments happening there. How? There's need for a proper explanation to all of these different issues. We have also raised concern again regarding money as appropriated by the Commission. The Commission is in charge of this institution. From the time that I joined the Commission as Leader of the Opposition, I've not been invited for a Commission meeting. I don't know if Commission meetings are sitting. I don't fully understand what's happening there, because the modus operandi had always been, there get to be regular Commission meetings. In fact, at some point there were 2 meetings every month. It's over 2 months since I'm in office and not invited for any Commission meeting, and yet work keeps happening that ideally should have been okayed by the Commission. Again, that is not clear. We have also heard about contracts that are signed in a surreptitious manner. There is one particular one where a radio station in Bukedia, which we understand belongs to the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, called Mama Bukedia FM, was given a contract by the Commission worth 3.12 billion shillings to do Parliament work, whatever that work gets to be. Again, we don't fully understand the process, how this was done. Were procurement regulations followed for this contract to be awarded? Also, the people that signed off that contract as managers of the radio station are staff of Parliament in the office of the Speaker. So how exactly does that happen? Your staff in the office of the Speaker, you're also manager of her radio station, and then there's a contract worth plenty of money. It's problematic, and it needs to be explained. The commission, and again this has been out there, we discussed it here in the shadow cabinet, money that was doled out to commissioners, including former leader of the opposition, 3 NRM commissioners. As a political party, NUP, we have made steps regarding our member, but that's as the party. However, still as an institution, there is concern. There is concern when members of a commission sit and award themselves money in a manner that is not clear. Because you see, the commission, how it operates, or how it's meant to operate, allowances and all benefits for staff are properly institutionalized. This was not the case. This is money that people sat and awarded themselves, 500 million, 400 million, and it's personal to holders. In our engagement with, at least on our end as a party, when we're asking our colleague, General Mpuga, and said, how exactly does this get to happen? What happens to whoever becomes Lop after you, for example? And the response was, every Lop gets to negotiate their own benefit. That's problematic. Because then I asked, assuming now as new Lop, I quote unquote behave well to whoever is meant to okay this. Does that mean I can negotiate for 2 billion shillings? It is not right. Also, there's been dishonesty around this issue because our colleague said he has not received this money yet. He's been waiting for the first installment. We saw the spokesperson of Parliament, Mr. Chris Obore, on TV somewhere confirming that former Lop and the 3 commissioners received this money. We need to be honest and say that. It's important. So as the shadow cabinet, we have agreed on 3 things regarding all these various allegations, all these various matters. Number 1, that I write to the Speaker, which I have done, this is a letter writing to the Speaker, asking her to convene a commission meeting, because there has been no commission meeting, at least since I got into office. Not one that I'm aware of. So it's important that the commission gets to sit and we get answers to all of these various expenditures, plenty of money that is not explained legally or even morally. That commission meeting gets to happen urgently within this week. If there have been meetings happening and I'm not in the know, this one I want to be in the know. So that I sit therein and ask questions. Because the commission okays all of these expenditures. We want to know. Number 2, you know that Parliament was adjourned, signed die, and we don't know when next it's going to sit. So as the shadow cabinet, we are asking the Speaker to convene Parliament soonest within this week, so that we discuss these matters. So that as an institution, we get to be accountable to people out there. But number 3, that Parliament of Uganda, this institution, gets to unequivocally explain to the people of Uganda all these various allegations. Staff recruitments that are irregular, monies that are spent in manners that are not understandable, the per diems, the service awards, the contracts, and all of that. That as an institution, we get to see a proper explanation to the public. It's not enough for the spokesperson of Parliament to be on some media houses and say what he has been saying. It's his job, he's got to do that. But as Parliament, to release a proper statement explaining these issues to the people of Uganda. We are accountable to the people of Uganda. And no one should say it is not the business of the public. It's their business. This is their money. So how do you say it's not their business? It is their business. Our vision as Parliament is to be a people-centered Parliament. If we are to be a people-centered Parliament, we must account to the people. That we shall be people-centered. Otherwise, then we are not being honest with ourselves. Our hope is that these three demands and resolutions from the Shadow Cabinet get to be acted upon soonest, that a commission meeting is called within this week. 2, Parliament gets to reconvene so that we discuss these matters on the floor of Parliament. But number 3, that Parliament as an institution provides a proper explanation to the people of Uganda about these expenditures. There's nothing classified here that cannot be explained. If these our demands as the Shadow Cabinet are not acted upon within this week, we shall communicate to the nation our next course of action. We said, let's give time for the other side to tell their story, because there's been a lot of silence, generally, from the institution, from the Speaker's office. We are saying, let's have them have their say and explain to the people of Uganda these matters in these different 3 categories: at the Parliamentary Commission, Parliamentary Plenary on the floor of Parliament, but also to communicate a proper explanation, accounting to the people of Uganda about these issues. If the week elapses before these things happen, we'll reconvene and then we'll communicate our next course of action. I thank you. Maybe to briefly say what I have been saying, Uganda, what are you Abiagala Mulishoga? We'll ask the questions after maybe I have translated. Okusokera ddala anyway, okusokera ddala ebintu bingi ebibadde eyo mawulire Abaganda nga babyogerako Palamenti yaffe eno nsonga nkulu, ensonga z'essente. Nga opposition tubadde tusirikiddemuko nga tulindiridde okulaba biki ebivaayo, byonna biveeyo, byonna biveeyo, bikuŋŋaanya obulungi tubyogereko. Olunaku lwaleero tutudde nga Shadow Cabinet ne twogera ku nsonga zino eziri eyo ku mitimbagano. Bannayuganda bazoogerako, boogera ku Parliament allegations nga balumiriza kino na kino. Ezisinga ku zo zeekuusa ku office yakulembera Parliament, Oweekitiibwa Speaker, entambula ze tulabe nga ssente mpitirivu ezikozesebwa ku ntambula ze. Speaker padiem owuwe olunaku abeera $9 nga naye ate ssente tetuze tulaba ezisaasaanyibwa ng'olunaku akozesa $4,400 n'okweyongera waggulu, okulumiriza okutwagala kutegeerekeke. Ennaku mpitirivu ezibaliddwa zaatambudde, naye nga twebuuza, ng'ovudde ku kya ssente okubeera ennyingi ennyo, bazongerezaawa ye? Ani yatuula n'asalawo okuzongeza? Naye ng'ekyo kivuddeko entambula zino engendo nga zibadde nnyingi, kubanga ezimu nga ali Nairobi at the same time ali Turkey nga tebitegeerekeka. Naye n'ekirala ng'ennaku nnyingi zino twebuuza, yagendayo yatambula engendo zino oba just basayiningira ssente? Kubanga ebbanga eryo ddene nnyo, Speaker tatera kubanga taliiwo ebbanga eryo lyonna. atwagala ensonga ezo zitegeerekeke. Olwo ssente mpitirivu ziraga nti sipiika abadde akola activities ez'enjawulo mu communities okusingira ddala mu Eastern Uganda gy'ava. Ssente zino nga ziyita ku account z'abakozi ba paalamenti. Ssente mpitirivu buwumbi na buwumbi. Twebuuza lwaki ssente zino ziyita ku accounts ez'abasitaafu ba paalamenti nga bagenda ne bazijjayo oolyawo ne bazimutwalira. Byajja biti ebyo. Okuva ku musango gwa Kazinda, gavumenti yayisa enkola empya nti ssente zirina okugenda ku akawunti z'aba staff members mu bitongole bya gavumenti ebyenjawulo tezirina kusukka ku kadde 5 nga zakola mirimu egy'enjawulo. Ssente zitali zaabwe nti musaala oba ki, naye kati zino tulaba buwumbi na buwumbi ku akawunti z'abamemba ba staff ab'enjawulo mu kizimbe kino, nga ssente ezo zigenda kukola mirimu gya sipiika. Twagala ensonga ezo zitegeerekeke obulungi kuba ssente mpitirivu. Ensonga endala y'abakozi wano mu paalamenti. Abakozi bazze, abantu bazze nga baweebwa emirimu wano mu paalamenti. Engeri etategeerekeka era Auditor General yakinokolayo naye mu lipooti ye. Ensonga eno ng'agyogerako abakozi bangi abatategeerekeka baweebwa emirimu wano tebamanyikiddwa naki kye bakola, kyoba actually batuula wano ku paalamenti ne bakola emirimu. Ensonga eyo nga tetegeerekeka bulungi. Ofiisi ya Leader of the Opposition ebeera n'abakozi ab'enjawulo okutuyamba ku mirimu egy'enjawulo etukwasaganya. Buli Leader of Opposition omupya ayingirawo ne ttiimu empya eyiye. Nze nagamba nti ababaddewo sibalinaako buzibu basigalewo. Contracts zaabwe nga ziggwa January, neŋŋamba contracts ezo bazirenewing bazizze bujja. Ne baga nti tewali ssente. Kali mu meeting ne speaker ne clerk ne bankakasa nti tewali ssente. Fact wage bill twagituuka dda. Naye nga bagamba Leader of Opposition staff tebasobola kuzza bujja contract zaabwe, ate tuwulira abantu bangi bakwazi contract mu ngeri etategeerekeka. Ne Auditor General n'agikoonako. Twagala ensonga eno ennyonyoke obulungi kuba tuwulira bawa baŋŋanda ab'emikwano naki. Ensonga ezo nga twagala zitegeerekeke obulungi, zinyonyoke. Ensonga ya ssente ziyita ku accounts z'abantu abakola wano nazo nga twagala zitegeerekeke obulungi. Ensonga endala ey'enkizo gye twogeddeko era wano mu Shadow Cabinet nga twagala zinyonyoke bulungi. Commission ya Paalamenti ke kakiiko ak'oku ntikko akatwala Paalamenti. Era nga Leader of Opposition ntuula ku kakiiko ako. Naye of course kukyangamufu ka Leader of Opposition tewanabeerawo commission meeting. Simanyi oba zituula nga nze zitegeezeddwako naye sinayitibwa. N'ate emirimu gigenda mu maaso. Egirina okuba nga commission yegikkiriza nga twagala tutegeere bijja bitya. Ssente zaayisibwa mu commission nga ba-commissioners abamu beewa akasente. Ffe nga NUP era muze mulaba engeri gye tukwasaganyamu ensonga eno ng'ekibiina kubanga omu ku bo memba waffe. Naye tugamba nti nga tuvudde ne ku waffe bonna abaali mu meeting eyo. Oweekitiibwa Mpuuga, Solomon Sirwanyi, Commissioner, Honorable Prosia Kampulira, Honorable Esther Afoyokyana. Kubanga abo baatuula ne beewa akasiimo. Oweekitiibwa Mpuuga $5,000,000 bali bina. Bali mu meeting twebuuza of course Oweekitiibwa nti ekintu kino mwakikola mutya? Kubanga sinti kikati kiyingidde mu system ti kigenda okubeera. Of course awo nawo wali baddewo issue kubanga already tufuna omusaala ne allowances n'akasiimo gratuity gratuity tusavingako buli mwezi ng'ababaka. Kaakati zino zo zajja zitya ate nga mugamba zammwe bassekinnoomu ng'abantu. N'agamba nti buli Lop omupya ayingirawo naye ajja kuteesa ezize, ajja kunegotiatinga ezize. Nga kaakati kitegeeza nti bwe neeyisa obulungi ne sinyiiza abantu bamu, kiyinza n'okusaba obuwumbi obubiri ne babumba. Ekintu ekyo kikyamu. Ate nga tusaba obeerewo obwerufu, kubanga tuze tuwulira omukulu ng'agamba nazifuna sente ezo, ayinze ne installment esooka. Naye ate ayogerera Parliament, omukulu Chris Ogola yali ku TV emu n'akakasa nti abantu bano bonna sente zaabwe bazifuna dda. Tubeere beerufu ng'abakulembeze. Nsonga eyo nkulu. Nga shadow cabinet tuyisiza ebintu bisatu. Nsonga zino allegations zonna ezo zitambula. Okusookera ddala twandikidde speaker nga musaba ayite commission meeting. Tutegeere ebitambula kuba commission yevunaanyizibwa ku ssente za Parliament zonna. Natwagala okunnyonnyoka naddala nze kubanga sinayitibwa mu commission meeting yonna kati emyezi giweze ebiri. Simanyi oba zituula nga sitegeezeddwako. Musabye ayite commission meeting mu wiiki eno. Ekyokubiri, tusaba speaker ayite Parliament kubanga Parliament bajjani nga bagiwummuza. Tumanyi ddiiro tuddamu ajjani nsaindayi nga bwe kiri. So nga tusaba Parliament eyitibwe twogere ku nsonga zino. Nsonga za bannayuganda zibakwatako. Era bwe tubeera wali ku Parliament, kufuya Parliament nga twogera ku nsonga zino, tuba twogera amaloboozi g'abantu abaatutuma. Oba oliawo buli munnayuganda milioni 47 baali badde awo bonna nga bateesa, naye tekisoboka. Ekusinjika ffe tubateeseze. Ekyokusatu, twagala Parliament nga institution eveeyo ennyonnyole ku nsonga zino zonna eza ssente ezikozesebwa mu ngeri tategeerekeka, ssente empitirivu, abakozi abaweebwa emirimu, engabanya ssente, ensonga zino zonna. Natwagala Parliament yennyonnyoleko ku nsonga zino. Obutongole munnayuganda ategeere kubanga ssente za munnayuganda. Era oluusi mpulira abantu abamu nga bagamba tebakwatako nakiti, tebakwatako batya. Zino ssente za muwa musolo. Ateekwa okutegeera, ateekwa okunnyonnyolebwa enkozesa ya ssente zino. Tusabye ebintu bino bikolebwe wiiki eno. Bino ebintu ebisatu. Commission meeting etuule. Tutegeere nange ntegeere kuba sinatuula mu commission meeting. Ekyokubiri Parliament eyitibwe tulese ku nsonga zino. Ekyokusatu Parliament yennyonnyoleko buwandiike butongole ennyonnyola bannayuganda ku nsonga zino. Wiiki bw'enaggwa ng'ebintu bino tebikoleddwa, tujja kuddamu tutuule twabulira tekikituzaako kubanga ensonga zino ziri serious. Nga maliriza, ensonga zino tetuzoogerako kubanga tulina ensonga yonna eri personal, ow'ekitiibwa speaker, ow'ekitiibwa kugaba commissioners abalala, omuntu yenna. Nedda, bonna tubawa ekitiibwa ng'abakulembeze, naye tugamba nti kibakakatako okunnyonnyola ensonga za ssente y'omuwa omusolo. Nsonga eyo nkulu. So oleme kubeera okwekwasa nti ate kakati ono kimwagala ate ono ki. Tuddemu ensonga, tuleme kubuzaabuza gwanga, tuddemu ensonga eza ssente zino. Let me say that in English, because I didn't say it in English. For those who might think we are pressing these issues, the Speaker, the Mpuga, commissioners, and several others, there's nothing personal about any of these leaders. We respect them as leaders, but we are saying as respectable leaders, let's be accountable. Let's respond to these questions. So there should be no diversion. See, these ones are saying this about me because they don't like me, or whatever the case might be. No. Okay, be that as it may. First explain the issues to do with taxpayer money. I thank you. And I can take any few questions if there be.
Okay, let's first think like we shall start with Isa.
Sorry, I've just been reminded, waliwo kesogedde mu Luganda, kwebyo of course ebiyitingana, era waliwo ne contract yemu gye tulabye. contract commission yagiwa radio emu Bukedya bagita Mama Bukedya FM era nga tulira ya speaker wa parliament. Contract yagiweebwa yali ya bumbi busatu ku milioni 3.1 billion shillings. Kole mirimu gya parliament nagyo nga twagala tunyonyoke mirimu ki era bayita mitendera ki gya procurement okuwa contract eno radio eno abalala zibatasobola kufuna contracts ezo kubanga tulina endala bodi ezina ne wide coverage naki ensonga ezo zonna nazo nsonga twagala zinyonyoke kubanga zino sente za muwa musolo.
Okay. Rachel, Didan, then Asif and Nakati. In that order, eh?
No.
Thank you very much. Honorable Deputy says we ask in English because we don't understand. Mine are two. It's about the audit on Parliament that you're talking about, the Auditor General. We understand it's not the Auditor General that audits Parliament. So what is the source of information about this? Secondly, it's about the Parliament money being spent. We understand National Unity Platform as a party, you had been stopped by your president from getting the 100 million shillings as MPs. We understand the 50 million of part of this money came in December. And we know that you guys got it. Yes. And as of last week, one of your members actually went to the social media platform and said 2 days ago, the last batch of this money came. This money has entered people's accounts and people are quiet about this money. Have you tried to interest yourself about this issue? Yet the party president had told you not to touch the same money.
Yes, thank you for affording me this opportunity. I would like to, for purposes of balance on that, on those suspicious recruitments that have been taking place in this esteemed house, I would maybe want you to comment on the case of Madame Kejaji, Babi's sister. It's been out there in the media and it's been silent. But also, secondly, about you meeting with the commission, some of us are starting to become a little bit worried. The commission is a crime scene. What why would you meet with them? Won't you get contaminated? There are channels you should be going, you should be taking through this very pertinent case. You could petition, like we've had a petition in the making, but also the courts within Kampala. I think you should make use of them. That's according to me. That's my personal view. Thank you.
Yes, Gloria.
Just add on Danny's question, I would like to know, in case you're not invited for commission meetings, what does the rules of procedure say? And then from your investigations, how many meetings have you so far missed? And then also, just as a leader, because you sit on the commission, have you tried to reach out to your fellow leader to confirm the alarming figures? Because we all know that parliament business is not based on speculations. So did you try to reach out to confirm the figures?
Yes, Asif and then Nakati.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much. My name is Asif. I work with PBS. My question is about the net. The net seems to be so big, and the news to me is who is next, not actually who is in the net. According to your party, the National Unity Platform, their policy or your stand is whoever is a culprit in corruption scandals, pack your bags. So the net is very big. Members of parliament, including those from opposition, are under allegations of receiving money. Not today, not yesterday, but it has been policy. What if tomorrow we see others posting you, them, someone next to you? Are you going to pack your bags?
Okay, that's been a couple of let's first take same question. Okay, let the look first answer those, and then we can have another round.
Okay. Do we want all issues attended to? Yes. All of them must be attended to. And that's why we are saying at the end of the week we shall reconvene to establish, have the issues we raised been attended to, responded to? If they have been responded to, have they been responded to satisfactorily? It's not one thing, it's not enough to respond. We shall also make an assessment of the response. Is it satisfactory? Okay, and if they have also not responded or responded to some and not others, we shall still reconvene and we shall communicate our next course of action. Audit on Parliament. Parliament is audited by auditors appointed by the Auditor General, but eventually the Auditor General takes responsibility. That's why they capture that as part of their audit report, as part of the Auditor General report. So the Parliamentary Commission is audited by the Auditor General via auditors appointed to do so. 50 million or 100 million, we, as the National Unity Platform, have made clear on our end as a party, but I've also generally cautioned colleagues that we need to be extremely careful, because they will set traps for people. Okay, we hear some people are taking the money from homes, people's homes, I don't know where. Very potentially there are cameras there. What guarantee do you even have that you're not being recorded? And then tomorrow, now that we are beginning to raise critical issues, that people will say, I'm not going to die alone. Here is evidence on record. So and so picked money, so and so picked money. You don't want to catch yourself in that situation. So it's a caution we have put to ourselves as the opposition. But we have also said anyone who has information, credible information, please do avail us in confidence or otherwise, and then we'll get to take action. At least as the National Unity Platform, which I speak for, we want to take action. All right? The action you are seeing us take now is because there is evidence, proper evidence. Yeah, so what's the issue? As far as going forward? Yeah. So Parliament has a generator. It's been over 30 minutes. Regardless, maybe bring your microphones here, because
yes, now.
Walimu abadde konekisinze ku mizindaalo.
Temuvaako amasannyalaze ge gabaddeko naye nga tukyalira.
Okay, are we ready?
More than enough.
Yes, abali baffe abakyali ku Lukira TV tumwerabira tuli live mu Parliament naye amasannyalaze gavuddeko kyova olaba nga tukyali mu kutereeza sound.
Okay, so yes, I was responding to the issue of the money that we hear is given to members. People are saying they've got evidence. Please avail that evidence, right? And then hold us accountable for not taking action. Where we have evidence, we are taking action, as you can see, regarding the commission and the expenditures there and so on. Please do avail that evidence. It will be helpful. Okay? But again, like we have said, I personally keep cautioning colleagues, let's be very careful, let's not fall into traps. Because, yeah. Didan asked about Brenda. So I meant to have a personal assistant. The first name that I recommended was rejected. Apparently because this person has got an ongoing case. He's part of the team that was arrested in Kalanga. I remember that team. This is somebody who has got a degree, competent person, but they said no, he has an ongoing case, which of course is illegal because Article 28(3) of the Constitution provides for innocence until guilt is proven or acknowledged. But I said, okay, let me not pull ropes here and there. I appointed another person, which person was also failed deliberately. Because some people are saying this one wants to run against a particular MP. Now, if he gets a job here, he'll be empowered to run against that particular person. Ridiculous. This is the person who is very qualified. So those two were rejected. I said, okay, let me get another person. This is a personal assistant that I'm entitled to somebody who wants to be qualified. So that's how Brenda got to be my personal assistant. After the other two were rejected on record. Somebody asks, why meet the commission? Well, I also want to have my debut in the commission meeting. Yeah, and because I've not sat in one. But importantly and seriously, I want to look my fellow commissioners in the face and ask them, so how do these monies get to be expended? Because the commission is the one in charge of the budget of Parliament. Okay? Two, can each of us explain to ourselves, because we are accountable to each other. So that's why it's important that I get to sit in that commission and hear, and we discuss these issues thoroughly. I hope that gets to happen. How many commission meetings have you missed? I don't know. I don't know because I've not sat in any. I don't know if they have been meeting, and if so, where? I don't know. Because it's been over 2 months, and like I've said, the practice has always been about 2 meetings a month. I've not been invited for any meeting. So I don't know how many I've missed. The leaders pack their bag. That's related to the earlier question of 50 million. We are yearning, our fingers are itching for evidence because we don't want anyone to say we are witch hunting them. You know, it's possible for people to go out there and say, you're witch hunting me, you don't like me, and that kind of thing, once there's no tangible evidence, yeah? Because you see, even where there's evidence, again, people are still saying, we don't like them, but there's evidence. So even for this matter, whoever has evidence, please avail it. And we get to take action. Ensonga zonna twagala ziddibwemu zonna si zimu si ndala naye zonna twagala ziddibwemu kubanga munnayuganda alina okwennyonnyoka ensonga zino. Audit ku Parliament, Auditor General appointing actually commission appointing a firm of auditing ekwatagana ne Auditor General. So eventually Auditor General n'afulumya reporter ye ku Parliament. So Parliamentary Commission enoonyerezebwako ekolebwako audit the Auditor General. Ensonga eza miliyoni 5 oba 10 oba mmeka tuze tubiwulira, ebintu bino byennyamiza. Era tusaba abo bonna abalina ku bujulizi mubutuwe tukole ekyo kitulina okukola. Kiyamba nnyo obujulizi weebuli kubanga abantu bamanyi okwekwasa nti ate kakati nze tebanjagala oba ki tewali bujulizi naye ate bali mu kunnondoola. Kubanga olaba n'awali obujulizi abantu era beewakala ne bagamba nti just tetubaagala oba ki nga bujulizi weebuli kakati wano tukijja tuyambako nga tufunye ku bujulizi obwo okunoonyerezaako. Naye nze ngamba bannange nti twegendereze nnyo tuleme kugwa mu mutego kubanga eyo gye mukima ssente simanya mu maka gani eno simanya mu ofiisi wanaki baliwo kamera baba recordinga ate kati tutandise okulokolayo ensonga zino okuzoogerako abantu bajja kunyiga bagambe nti ngamba nze nziba ssente nzeka bo buno obutambi obulaga noono yabikinga noono namuwa noono yafuna. So twegendereze nnyo nnyini ddala ng'ababaka. Ensonga ya Brenda yina okubeera ne personal assistant. Erinnya lye nasooka okuteekayo baaligaana nti omuntu ono alina omusango mu kkooti. Y'omu kwabwe baakwata ensonga ekalangala omuntu ono alina digiri ali qualified bulungi. Ninde bagaa nti olwokubanga alina omusango mu kkooti talina kuweebwa mulimu. Ekyo kimenya n'amateeka kubanga constitution yaffe kikaatiriza bulungi nti omuntu atanasingisa kkooti nga tennamusingisa musango toyinza gamba nti ali guilty oba gwamuka mufi n'okumumba omulimu kikyamu. Naye ne ngamba kale kaneme okusika muguwaawo nenfuna omulala era n'omulala gwe nafuna ne bamugaana nti oyo tuwulira ayagala kwesimbako oli gundi mwenga temulina be mwesimbako bwekibanga kituufu nti alina ekyo kyayagala bwekibanga bwekityo bwe kiri kuba musango bwekibanga kituufu ne bagaanira ne bamusuula. Nga kale kanfuna omulala era kwe kufuna Brenda as a personal assistant. Okusinkana commission, yes commission njagala gisinkane tunyonyoke ensonga zino nange njagala ntegeere kubanga simanyi oba meeting zize zituula kubanga siitibwanga ku commission meeting yaddeemu simanyi oba batuula. Njagala otegeera byonna okunyonyoka obulungi kubanga saagala ebintu ebimu kubanga batuula nze nga siriiyo nikeera bannayuganda bagambe nti Ssenyonyi naatuula mu commission bino mwabiisa ku lunaku luno ate nga sibimanyiiko tebampitanga mu meeting yonna. So njagala mpitibwe mu meeting mbuuze ebibuuzo bino nange nnyonyoke obulungi. Meeting meka ezakatuula eza commission simanyi kuba emyezi kati 2 tewabangawo commission meeting gye mpitibwamu nze nga nze ndowooza zezi nsonga.
Kati obutakwita kati banamuno bakwesenge commission meeting amuteka akafuta agagamba gatya tuomisinga empula 15 kino kyekiddako omuteka kinyonyola bulungi then nekirala kyafika zibadde especially ku social media waziraba wa-reaching out ku mukulu muno n'omubuuza to confirm the allegations kulwakubanga parliament business tebesingira social media. Yeah.
Well, Yensonga Lwaki tuli mu kubasaba bonna bennyonnyoleko. Ekyomukisa omulungi n'omwogezi wa Paalamenti ezisinga zonna azikiriza zatazeemu era tazizeemu bulungi ng'aziyitako buyisi. Tetugamba nti kakale kati muzinnyonnyola obulungi. Bannayuganda bazitegeere. Yensonga ezo. if you want it in English. The issues that are on social media are good enough. Even the spokesperson of Parliament has admitted some. Those he hasn't admitted, again, there's been no clear response. That's why we're saying now there should be a clear response, a proper coming out, so that it is clear to the people of Uganda what exactly is happening.
Okay. Thank you very much, colleagues. We shall stop at that. Anything else? I know there's a bit of thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, mwebalenya wabadde ku
Yoyo Joel Ssenyonyi waffe leader of opposition waddala ebigambo abijjayo nga bwe biri era n'abituusa nga bwe biri ate olutalo lutandise twimpeach Anita Amongi kyekiriwo kati agwe mulimu omunene kubanga ayonoonye ensimbi z'omuwi w'omusolo Dibaze omusimbi z'omuwi w'omusolo agulira abantu abatateekeddwa gulirirwa kubanga alina ebigendererwa bye era n'omusimbi gwakozesa buli lunaku mungi anti amateeka gamulagira buli lunaku wabanga afuna per diem ng'atambudde akozesa $999 olafule $10 buli lunaku naye ate ye kati akozesa $4,405 miliyoni 14 n'okugenda waggulu. Ndowooza owulidde engeri abantu bano gye beegabanyamu ensimbi ez'obwerere kati Joel Ssenyonyi ayagala bino binnyonnyokwe ensi etegeera amazima matuufu ge galiwa lwaki sipiika akozesa ensimbi z'atalina kufuna nti ne leediyo ye alina leediyo eyo ewuwe Bukeddeya bagiyita Simama Bukeddeya nayo yagiwa omusimbi contract y'ebirango n'agiwa omusimbi muyitirivu baagala amanye eyo contract yafunibwa etya era alina ensimbi eziva mu Parliament nga zitakuba staff ku account z'abastaff ba Parliament ne zigenda ewuwe ne bazimutwalira Joel Ssenyonyi agamba eyo ssente azifuna ngaani lwaki zitakuba ku account z'abastaff awo nno we tuli speaker Amongi must be impeached aveewo tulabe nno tusobola okufuna speaker omundi tuleko nekyo tutambula mpolampola era tumenyaamenya gavumenti ya Museveni mpolampola byebyo mbaagala nnyo mwenda abaliko mwebali kubaako Omukama Katonda nsaba bankuumire tujja kuba tuddamu tugambe ebigambo bw'anabakkiriza ddunda mugamba namugereka bataayi mweraba.